His Majesty King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa delivered a speech on the occasion of the start of the new academic year 2025-2026. In the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful. Dear teachers, parents, and guardians, dear students at all educational levels, may peace, mercy, and blessings of Allah be upon you. On the occasion of the start of the new academic year 2025-2026, we are pleased to express our sincere congratulations and best wishes for a fruitful year filled with the best achievements. Dear children and educators, the Kingdom of Bahrain has achieved many positive results in the field of education, which has always been a priority for us due to its prominent role in the development of our beloved country. We appreciate the continuous support provided by the government, led by His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister, Prince Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa, which has had a very positive impact on the educational process. On this occasion, we express our deep pride and appreciation to all those who have contributed to the construction and development of educational institutions from the earliest beginnings of education to the present day, which is witnessing rapid developments in many fields. Perhaps the most notable of these is the use of modern scientific technologies and other requirements and developments of sustainable development. We look forward to everyone working together to achieve more honorable accomplishments in the field of education, in accordance with an educational vision that combines advanced curricula with established Islamic values and principles, thereby strengthening the Bahraini national identity, of which we are all proud of. May Allah grant us success, and we wish you many happy returns. His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister Prince Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa met with the Egyptian President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi as part of His Royal Highness's official visit to Egypt. His Royal Highness highlighted the enduring Bahrain-Egypt relations and strategic partnership rooted in a long history of mutual respect. He emphasized the growth of multi-sectoral collaboration supported by His Majesty King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa and President al-Sisi to achieve shared aspirations and deliver benefits for both countries. His Royal Highness also conveyed the greetings of His Majesty the King to the President and His Majesty's wishes for further progress and prosperity for Egypt, while President al-Sisi extended his greetings to His Majesty the King and his wishes for further growth and prosperity for Bahrain. His Royal Highness commended the strong bonds that exist between Bahrain and Egypt, reinforced through mutual agreements and strategic partnerships. He underscored the importance of building upon cooperation and maximizing opportunities to achieve shared goals. He underscored Egypt's pivotal role in promoting regional security and stability, advancing joint Arab efforts, and championing causes that are central to the Arab nations and its support of Bahrain. His Royal Highness praised Egypt's accomplishments under the leadership of President al-Sisi, wishing Egypt further progress and prosperity. He highlighted the importance of the agreements and announcements that will be concluded during this visit, which will create more opportunities for bilateral cooperation and strengthen partnerships. During the meeting, avenues to enhance bilateral cooperation, the latest regional and international developments, and topics of common interest were discussed. In addition, both sides affirmed their support for all efforts aimed at promoting international peace and stability. His Royal Highness reiterated the mutual commitment to supporting the Palestinian cause aimed at achieving a just and lasting solution that guarantees the legitimate rights of the Palestinian people. He also emphasized the importance of de-escalation, the protection of civilians, and the release of hostages and detainees, as well as the continuation of the delivery of humanitarian aid to Gaza and supporting reconstruction efforts. His Royal Highness emphasized Egypt's significant humanitarian role alongside allied countries in this regard. His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister Prince Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa met with the Prime Minister of Egypt Dr. Mustafa Madbouli at the new administrative capital as part of His Royal Highness's official visit to Egypt. His Royal Highness attributed the strength of Bahrain-Egypt relations to the support of His Majesty King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa and the President of Egypt Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, noting that this contributes to fulfilling the aspirations of both countries. He outlined the strength of the historic relations, referencing the ongoing growth driven by close cooperation, coordination, and extensive partnerships across a wide range of sectors. His Royal Highness underscored Bahrain's commitment to further advancing bilateral relations. He also highlighted Egypt's pivotal role in the Arab world and the region, as well as its efforts towards strengthening Arab national security. He affirmed the mutual commitment of both countries to advancing multi-sectoral cooperation in support of their shared aspirations. His Royal Highness held roundtable discussions with Dr. Mustafa Madbouli, during which they reviewed avenues to enhance cooperation across various sectors, particularly digital transformation, logistics, industry, tourism, construction, and food security, as well as issues of mutual interest and the latest regional and international developments. Dr. Madbouli expressed his appreciation for His Royal Highness's commitment to strengthening bilateral relations, wishing Bahrain further progress and prosperity. In the presence of His Royal Highness, the following agreements were signed. An MOU between ALBA, an aluminum company of Egypt, Egyptalum, regarding investment cooperation to evaluate the feasibility of building an aluminum refining plant in Egypt. It was signed by the Minister of Finance and National Economy and Chairman of the Board of Directors of Mumtalakat, Sheikh Salman bin Khalifa Al Khalifa, on behalf of Bahrain, while the Executive Managing Director of the holding company for metallurgical industries, Engineer Mohammed Al Sa'dawi, signed on behalf of Egypt. An MOU between the Bahrain Economic Development Board and Egypt's General Authority for Investments and Free Zones regarding strengthening bilateral investment relations. It was signed by the Minister of Sustainable Development and Chief Executive of the EDB, Noor Al Khlaif, while the CEO of the General Authority for Investment and Free Zones, Hussam Heiba, signed on behalf of Egypt. An MOU on strategic cooperation was signed between Exhibition World Bahrain and the Bahrain Tourism and Exhibitions Authority, building upon a previously signed memorandum during the presidential visit to Bahrain in June 2022. The MOU was signed by the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Dr. Abdul Latif bin Rashid Al Zayani, on behalf of Bahrain, and on behalf of Egypt, the MOU was signed by the Minister of Investment and Foreign Trade, Hassan Al Khatib. An agreement on the Authorized Economic Operator Program was signed between the Customs Affairs of the Ministry of Interior of Bahrain and the Customs Authority of the Ministry of Finance of Egypt. It was signed by the Minister of Foreign Affairs on behalf of Bahrain and by the Minister of Finance, Ahmed Kajouk, on behalf of Egypt. An MOU for cooperation in the tourism sector between the Ministry of Tourism of Bahrain and the Ministry of Tourism and Antiquities of Egypt. The MOU was signed by the Minister of Foreign Affairs on behalf of Bahrain and the Minister of Finance on behalf of Egypt. An MOU regarding cooperation in the field of antiquities and museums between the Bahrain Authority for Culture and Antiquities and Egypt's Ministry of Tourism and Antiquities, signed by the Minister of Foreign Affairs on behalf of Bahrain and the Minister of Finance on behalf of Egypt. An MOU regarding cooperation in the protection of competition between Bahrain's Ministry of Industry and Commerce and the Egyptian Competition Authority, signed by the Minister of Industry and Commerce, Abdullah Fakhro, on behalf of Bahrain and the Minister of Finance on behalf of Egypt. An MOU on technical cooperation, the exchange of expertise, and capacity building in the sustainable development sector was signed between the Ministry of Sustainable Development of Bahrain and the Ministry of Planning, Economic Development and International Cooperation of Egypt. The MOU was signed by the Minister of Sustainable Development on behalf of Bahrain and the Minister of Planning, Economic Development and International Cooperation, Dr. Rani Al-Mashat, signed on behalf of Egypt. Several agreements were also signed ahead of His Royal Highness's meeting with Dr. Mustafa Madbouli. These agreements include an MOU in Labor and Human Resources between the Kingdom's Ministry of Labor and the Ministry of Labor of Egypt. The memorandum was signed by the Minister of Foreign Affairs, while the Minister of Finance signed on behalf of Egypt. An MOU on the establishment of a Council for Urban Planning between the Ministry of Housing and Urban Planning of Bahrain and the Ministry of Housing, Utilities and Urban Communities of Egypt. The memorandum was signed by the Minister of Foreign Affairs on behalf of Bahrain, while the Minister of Finance signed on behalf of Egypt. An MOU on the establishment of a Bahraini Egyptian Youth Council between Bahrain's Ministry of Youth Affairs and Egypt's Ministry of Youth and Sports. The memorandum was signed by the Minister of Foreign Affairs on behalf of Bahrain, while the Minister of Finance signed on behalf of Egypt. An MOU between the Ministry of Housing and Urban Planning of Bahrain and the Ministry of Housing, Utilities and Urban Communities of Egypt to invite Egyptian construction companies to participate in tenders for the Government Land Rights Development Program in Bahrain. The memorandum was signed by the Minister of Foreign Affairs on behalf of Bahrain, while the Minister of Finance signed on behalf of Egypt. An MOU regarding cooperation between the Social Insurance Organization of Bahrain and the National Social Insurance Authority of Egypt. The memorandum was signed by the Minister of Foreign Affairs, while the Minister of Finance signed on behalf of Egypt. And an MOU between the Ministry of Social Development of Bahrain and the Ministry of Social Solidarity of Egypt for cooperation in the field of social affairs. The memorandum was signed by the Minister of Foreign Affairs, while the Minister of Finance signed on behalf of Egypt. After that, a lunch banquet was held by Dr. Mustafa Madbouli in honor of His Royal Highness and the accompanying delegation's visit to Egypt. His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister Prince Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa departed Egypt following an official visit where His Royal Highness met with the President of Egypt Abdel Fattah al-Sisi and several senior officials. Upon departure, His Royal Highness was bid farewell by the Prime Minister of Egypt Dr. Mustafa Madbouli along with several senior officials. Bahraini-Egyptian relations are witnessing significant progress thanks to the vision of His Majesty the King and the Egyptian President, which has been reflected in the growth and prosperity of sectors in both countries. More in this report.
The Kingdom of Bahrain and the Arab Republic of Egypt share deep historical ties and a common present marked by cooperation and integration. These deep-rooted relations are based on Arab fraternity, mutual respect, and unity of purpose and destiny. Over the decades, the two countries have embodied a model of strong Arab relations, which are renewed with every meeting between the two leaders. Through their meetings, His Majesty King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa and the President of Egypt Abdel Fattah al-Sisi have cemented the values of solidarity and joint action in the service of the interests of the two brotherly peoples and the just causes of the Arab nation. This march is also evident in the continuous efforts of His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister, Prince Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa, who continues to fulfill His Majesty the King's visions by supporting joint initiatives and increasing bilateral cooperation in the economic, investment and development fields. Manama, with its established strategic weight, and Cairo, with its cultural heritage, have come together on a single path of constructive cooperation and firm agreement on various political, security and economic levels. The mutual visits between the two leaders have been important milestones in the history of Bahraini-Egyptian cooperation, establishing new horizons for partnership and integration, reflected in joint agreements and projects, and expressed in identical positions on many regional and international affairs. What brings Bahrain and Egypt together today is not merely bilateral relations, but a shared vision for a more secure, stable and prosperous Arab future, reflecting the depth of fraternal ties that grow stronger with each passing day.
And to shed more light about the Bahraini-Egyptian relations, we have the following statement from lecturer in political sciences and international relations, Hussam Jabir.
The official visit of His Royal Highness Prince Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa, Crown Prince and Prime Minister of the Kingdom of Bahrain to the Arab Republic of Egypt. The relationship between the Kingdom of Bahrain and the Arab Republic of Egypt is deeply rooted, marked by the mutual respect, strategic element, and shared cultural heritage. In the modern era, bilateral ties trace back to the early 20th century, notably in 1919, when Egypt dispatched its first educational mission to Bahrain. Since then, the two nations have consistently supported one another during pivotal moments in Arab history, including Bahrain's backing of Egypt during the crisis of 1956 and 1967, and continuing to the present day. Diplomatic relations between Bahrain and Egypt are distinguished by frequent high-level visits, joint committees, and unified stance on key regional issues, particularly the Palestine case and effort to safeguard Arab unity. In the recent years, cooperation has expanded significantly across economic, trade, investment, and cultural domains. Bilateral trade reaching approximately $443 million in 2024, reflecting the growing depth of their partnership. The visit of His Royal Highness Prince Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa to Egypt, along with the ongoing collaboration between His Majesty King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa and His Excellency President Abdel Fattah Al Sisi, underscores a shared commitment to advancing bilateral relations.
The Bahraini-Egyptian partnership is being renewed with an economic vision that places investment and development at the forefront of mutual interests, as the official visit of His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister opens up broad horizons for the public and private sectors, which reflects the historical relations between the two countries. More in this report. From the heart of Cairo, the Bahraini-Egyptian partnership continues to grow as historic relations are transformed into practical paths of achievement and development. The official visit of His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister paints a strategic picture based on mutual trust and a shared vision of a more prosperous future for the two brotherly countries. The economy is the most prominent theme of this visit, with the Bahraini-Egyptian Business Forum providing a practical platform for translating the visions of the leaders of the two brotherly countries into investment projects and development opportunities in industry, trade, logistics, and technology. The figures add a realistic dimension to the partnership, with Bahraini investments in Egypt exceeding $450 million and non-oil trade reaching $460 million, with a move towards new paths that enhance economic diversity and double the returns. From Manama to Cairo, the private sector is present as a driving force, reflecting the spirit of initiative and the ability of national talent to compete in regional and international markets in line with Bahrain's Economic Vision 2030. Today, from Cairo, a strong Bahraini-Egyptian partnership is taking shape, opening up broad horizons for development and pushing bilateral relations to greater heights, translating into practical gains for the two brotherly countries. And for more on this topic, we have another statement from lecturer in Political Sciences and International Relations, Hussam Jaber.
The officially visit of His Royal Highness Prince Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa, Crown Prince and Prime Minister of Kingdom of Bahrain, to the Arab Republic of Egypt represent a pivotal moment in strengthening the already deep-rooted ties between the two nations. The shared commitment of Bahrain and Egypt to the advancing strategic cooperation across key sectors, such as trade, investment, energy, education, and regional security. By engaging in high-level discussions with President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi and senior Egyptian officials, the visit paves the way for new agreements and joint initiatives that will directly benefit both peoples. It is also reflects the mutual respect and alignment between the leadership of the both countries, reinforcing their rules and pillars for stability and development in the Arab world. Ultimately, this visit is not only diplomatic milestone, it is a catalyst for border cooperation, economic growth, and cultural exchange that will enhancing prosperity and opportunity for future generations in Bahrain and Egypt.
Minister of Interior and Chairman of the Ministerial Committee for ICT, General Sheikh Rasha bin Abdullah Al Khalifa, attended the graduation ceremony of the second batch of the Technical Workforce Development Program. The event was also attended by the Minister of Cabinet Affairs, the Deputy Minister of Interior, the Chief of Public Security, and senior officials. Organized by the Information and E-Government Authority in cooperation with the Ministry of Labor, the program is a national initiative aimed at training and qualifying Bahraini talents in ICT, supporting Bahrain's digital transformation goals and the economic recovery plan. The Minister highlighted the support of His Majesty the King for Bahrain's modernization, including digital transformation and e-government services. He also noted the follow-up of His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister, which has strengthened Bahrain's position in the ICT sector and improved its international ranking. The Minister stressed the importance of making technology a core part of government operations to improve efficiency and quality of life. He underlined the need to invest in qualified national talent to help the Kingdom keep pace with global changes, thanking the Chief Executive of the IGA and emphasizing the need to continue developing the program. The Chief Executive of the IGA, Mohammed Al-Qaid, presented an overview of the program, describing it as a strategic step towards building a skilled Bahraini workforce in the ICT sector. He said that 159 participants joined the program with a 93% graduation rate, and a total of 100 participants secured jobs in the technology sector, including 43 from the second batch, 61% of whom were employed even before completing the program. At the ceremony, the Minister presented awards to government and private sector partners who supported the program and hired graduates, as well as certificates to the graduating participants. The Ministry of Education has intensified its efforts with the start of the new academic year as part of a strategic plan to ensure that schools are safe and ready for the return of students. More in this report.
With the start of the new academic year, the Kingdom witnessed intensive efforts by the Ministry of Education in cooperation with the relevant directorate to ensure a safe and smooth return for students and members of administrative and educational bodies. The Ministry was keen to ensure that schools were ready to receive students at all stages of their education, including providing the necessary facilities to support educational and administrative needs. The first day of public schools in Bahrain marks a new milestone towards educational advancement. The efforts of the ministry have been crowned with success by harnessing the potential to maintain a positive learning environment that embraces students in their new academic year. The ministry's ongoing efforts aim to ensure the continuity of the educational process and support educational institutions in their developmental roles to provide a safe and stimulating learning environment for students.
Coinciding with the return to school and as part of their security and community role, the Ministry of Interior initiated measures and efforts in coordination with relevant authorities to ensure the safety of all students. More in this report.
Schools in Bahrain, in cooperation with their students and teachers, are committed to integrating efforts and coordinating roles to ensure the start of the new school year with the highest levels of security and safety. As part of the Ministry of Interior's commitment to ensuring a safe school environment, all security and organizational measures have been taken in cooperation with the Education Ministry to enhance student safety. In this context, the General Directorate of Traffic has implemented a series of measures to ensure regular traffic flow around schools. The community police play a pivotal role in maintaining student safety and security, while urging parents to adhere to the necessary guidelines. Cooperation efforts have also included joint training courses between the Education Ministry and the Interior Ministry to enhance the performance of security personnel and raise their efficiency, ensuring a safe and appropriate educational environment. The relevant authorities emphasize that student safety and ensuring smooth traffic flow around schools is a shared responsibility, requiring the full cooperation of parents and strict adherence to guidelines and instructions.
The Ministry of Transportation and Telecommunications launched the Bahrain Post Electronic Locker Service, reflecting its commitment to further developing the postal system and providing innovative solutions that enhance operational efficiency. The Undersecretary for Land Transport and Post Affairs at the Ministry, Fatma Da'an, affirmed that the service forms part of ongoing efforts to strengthen operational efficiency and improve the quality of postal services for customers. She noted that the service offers practical and flexible options for parcel collection that meet the needs of individuals and businesses. She said that the electronic lockers provide customers with a secure and flexible experience for receiving parcels without being bound by fixed timings or the need to visit post offices.